guys, I decided that I wanted to come on and share some transparency about my life, about where I was before Christ, my transition phase, what brought me to the point of wanting to move forward in Christ, and yeah, I want to share that with you all. So this is going to be the first part of it. It's probably going to be like 3 parts to it. So yeah, the first part is pretty much where my life was before Christ. My life revolved around people, and it was men mainly. And how I wanted people to see me, what people thought about me, like that was my life, like legit was my life. Like I would go home and think about, how this person saw me when I was hanging out with them, or how did I look, just all kinds of stuff. And it took me for a ride for a long time, when I tell you. So my security pretty much was found in people, men, especially boys, men, depending on the age I was at the time, and what I had, what I didn't have, money, friends, boyfriend, how was he treating me at the time, when would make me feel secure, like how was things going. Like that was my security. And my identity was found. I really didn't have an identity. My identity also was found in people, guys. Men was my weakness. I cannot lie. Men was my weakness. Men were my weakness. Like a man, all you had to do was like me, let me know that you had interest in me. I didn't walk down the aisle with you. I didn't plan my whole life with you. And I'm not saying this to boast about it. I am saying this to help somebody. That was my weakness. Like, and I don't know what it is with the women, but some of us can be very, very, very gullible, and don't let a man tell us that he like us and we are desperate and thirsty and wanting to be with, or wanting to feel good about ourselves or be a part of somebody. They will take us for a ride, and then they can only do what we allowed them to do. And I allowed men to take me for a ride because that was my weakness. That's where I found my identity. I didn't feel good about myself if I didn't have a boyfriend, or somebody that liked me. And after like 12th grade, there was no boyfriend girlfriend. I was in situationships, and if you don't know what those are, you're just in a situation with somebody that said that they like you, or you're just in a relationship with somebody that said that they like you, but they really have not committed to you. So you find yourself in a situation that you can't get out of because you're now tied to that person, and because you've either already had sex with them, you're invested emotionally, and you're just all in, like you his girlfriend, you gonna be his wife, you're his wife to be. And he didn't tell you none of that, but that's what's in your mind. That was me. And when I tell you, I went on a ride like that for years. I'm talking about like 3 to 4 years, and I'm only 26, people. So around I think 19 to about 24, I want to say 23, 24. I was married for the, so about 22, 23. Went on this ride, when I tell you. And it didn't just start then, but my situationships started around 19. Yeah, around 19, 18, just turning 19. And I went on rides, y'all. Dark places that I never want to go ever again. And I'm not talking about locations. I'm talking about in my mind, mentally, you know, how I felt. And my happiness was found in people and men. Like, I was happy based on how people treated me, based on how the situationship was going. If he called me, if he didn't call me, if he, you know, decided he wanted to talk to me no more. Like, my mood, my happiness was based on things I had, friends I had in my life. Like, it was pretty rough. It was rough because I didn't know who I was. I had no clue who I was, and I was finding myself, or trying to find myself, in the midst of, you know, people kind of taking advantage of me, and me just being this gullible young girl. And I went for a ride that I never ever want to see anybody go on. But yeah, before Christ, I was all about people. And because I didn't know who Ebony was, I went on these long rides, roller coasters. When I tell you, one minute I'm up, next minute I'm down, I'm depressed. Like, it was rough. It was really, really rough. Trying to find myself, trying to find my identity, and on top of that, just looking for love in all the wrong places, trying to fill voids, because that was the main issue. They began to let me down because there were bigger issues. I had voids that needed to be filled, or I had voids, and I was trying to fill the voids with men, with people, with things, and it was not fulfilling at all. It was only a temporary fix. And as soon as something went bad, or I lost a job, or somebody didn't want to be my friend anymore, or stopped talking to me, or the guy just didn't want to be bothered with me no more, I didn't know how to handle that. I didn't know how to handle that. And it just caused more hurt on top of hurt. And I just became this cold, numb, almost hard-hearted person. I was very vulnerable. I was always crying, like, just crying. Like, I'm a very sensitive person, but I was crying because I was in pain. I didn't know how to fix me, because that's all I wanted, was to be fixed. Like, what is wrong with me? Why am I crying so much? Why am I feeling this way? Why people keep treating me like this? All I want to do is, you know, be loved, be with people, see people happy, be happy. But, you know, put myself out there being used. And man, when I tell you, it was rough. It was rough. But yeah, so life was pretty rough before Christ. Like, I was on a whole nother level. I was on a whole nother level of brokenness. I was numb to certain things, and it's like I kept going around the same circle over and over and over and over, and the cycle would not break. It's like I would get up for air, and I would be okay, and then the next minute I was back in the same cycle, starting all the way over, going around the same hill, going around the same mountain. And it was just like, why do I keep ending up here? And it was because I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know who I was. Just, you know, I just got lost in people and was neglecting myself. So yeah, it was pretty rough before Christ. So stay tuned for the transparency of my life part 2. I'm going to be going into details and, you know, telling some stories about things that happened to me before Christ, or things that I allowed to happen to me before Christ. And I just wanted to share my story because I know that there is somebody out there that needs to hear my story. So I'm going to share it in hopes that it would bless somebody and help somebody, hopefully help somebody not to make the same mistakes that I made, or somebody that might have made the same mistakes that I made, to show them that there is a way out and you can make it through it, and life gets better once you make it through it. So I just want to encourage you all to keep going, stay faithful, and keep God first. So I will talk to y'all later. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all later.